some legacy.
Okay.
We have to leave something for them. Yes.
Definitely.
And even
Definitely.
for the organization too, we owning a building this year.
Well, I like your words and word, song, and power.
Yes.
So this, I will tell you, I believe I'm not gonna put any damp on it. I'm looking forward, as I said to you, I'm coming to decorate.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
am there. I am there.
Well, well, I and I is here to create, so you can decorate.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, that's the part. Bless.
Bless you, God. So
I will.
it's Sunday, and you know how we like it.
Yes.
Sunday evening, Sunday night. I see we have another guest on our show. Hello, my sister.
Blessed
Don't forget
love.
don't forget to unmute your mic. Don't forget to unmute your mic so we can say hi.
My mic is unmuted. Can you hear me?
Oh
Yes,
yes, loud
I
and
can
clear.
hear you loud and clear.
Did you see your wonderful self on YouTube?
Yes, I looked at it. Of course I did.
And I'm saying a show of such high caliber, we heading up there within the greatness.
Mm-hmm.
I was very proud of the show. We really delivered.
Mm. I just finished having an argument here with RNC. RNC, I asked for two tickets inside. They're giving me one outside, one inside. And I'm saying, but how could my guest be outside? And I'm inside. Does that make sense to you?
Hardly. So how they gonna rectify that problem?
They want my ticket is inside, but my guest ticket is outside on the pavilion with strangers. They're going to look into it for me and call me back tomorrow morning. So
Oh my gosh. Outside sound like it's cold.
in
Inside
the
sound like
court,
it's
it's so
warm.
cold. That's for people who have no status. you know,
Well, I am.
You're outside on the pavilion. Nobody know you. I mean, you want to be sitting down in a warm room and in the crowd and the in crowd and follow everybody around and they say no. What is the status? They have to do it. I said, come on, do something different for me, okay? I don't know how they're going to work it out.
Well, when people have their designer suits and creation and ball gowns and everything, they better know what they're doing. The outside something want to look. Anyway, but I know you will take care of it,
Yeah,
and
I'll see what happens
it,
tomorrow. And then we're
it,
also going to be having some snowstorms here, right? So we don't even know if airlines would be able to move out of Toronto between tomorrow. Snowstorm is our bottom, right? We have a tomorrow. Is that on Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know how it's going to work out. I leave everything to the elements, whatever will be. I don't talk about it because I'm not. I don't talk negativity, right? I only
no,
talk
no,
positive.
we would not place any negativity. And
Yeah, I
and
do. I
yes,
do. I don't breathe negativity. I dream
it,
positive thoughts at all times.
and in 7 days, you know how much things can happen.
Excuse me?
In 7 days, a lot could happen with the
A lot
weather.
can happen. A lot could happen in a second.
Well, in a second.
Hey, I trust the universe, and I don't repeat negative things. I don't because I've seen from experience how fast things changes, and I don't really want to. I just leave it to time and the universe.
Definitely, definitely. Because what is to be has already been.
It has already been destined to be, and no matter what you do, you cannot change the times. This is 2025. It's a brand new year where we are living in an age of consciousness, right? We are so no matter how much you argue, no matter how much energy you put in, it's already written, right? So
Yeah,
we have to just step back now and let the universe do as the universe pleases, and just you know it's already happening. It's already there. It's already destined to be. So who am I to even change the course, alter the course of time?
but isn't that something? Because look at 25. When I said about 25, I said 25 is going to be racing by so quickly, and some people get left behind. 25, well, you see, as as the fire races through the California valleys, so is the events racing through our life. It's a burning, blazing fire, relentless with no end. That's the kind of 25 we're gonna have. That's why I said it's a year like never before. It,
Yeah. I was talking with my mother early this morning, and she was saying to me, how do I like 2025? There were people swimming in their pool last week in California, and today they have no pool. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, well, that's 2025. Take that as a lesson, right? I asked her whether it's biblical, and she tell me, all I can tell you is that one day you were swimming in the pool, and the next day it's all gone.
that's a 25 for you.
That's 2025 for you. So the same day, and another thing she said to me was the wealth of the wicked will be dispersed in the land. And that homeless man you see out there, in the next second, he's going to be having all the wealth of all the wealth that was lost in California. So I said, really? He was very smart.
Well, since we get into California, you know, it is Sundays, and I would like to welcome my guests to the Sadi Sunday Show. This is Sadi Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, coming to you live and live for the Woman Auxiliary Local 26. Our topic today is California burning, and of course, we who love provocative topics, we are also going to do the the funeral. We'll call it the funeral because Jimmy Carter, a great man as he was, offered us such, what should I say, entertainment at his funeral, because when Mr. Trump headlines, it's definitely entertainment. So we take California burning. So I want to give you California burning. California burning, is it the judgment of the Almighty God, or is it manipulated? Is it man made and created for purpose? Our really smart audience, studio audience, is going to identify which direction we think is going to go in. So we know the Almighty God is in charge of all things. As the year 2025, we speak of the judgment of the Almighty. In this case, we see fire. And we know that we were promised the world will no longer be destroyed by water. So many of our smart biblical scholars like to believe it's going to be fire. So when we saw the fire, we decide, oh my gosh, it's the fire from God. Here's California. They're so wicked and evil, they're burning. I do not know that for a fact. I first want to say my heart goes out to the people who are innocent in all of this, like the children, the animals, people who live a certain type of life pleasing unto the Almighty. They might have gotten caught up in this too. So I don't want to run off my mouth and say it's the judgment. I don't know. I know what has been said in the news. Some people said they saw people like arsonists creating havoc over there. So it could be a case where the fire was very well set in a design sort of way. Some people even said laser fire can burn like that. I am not the professional on fires, although I know I'm hot, but I'm not the professional on fires. So what I'm saying, however, some people saw trees that were standing while buildings were burning, and they found it to be quite unusual. All I have is the pictures and the videos to show these events. I don't know what the truth was.
Over
There, it was,
30,000 acres have been scorched.
well, we're here. I just heard a voice. Anyway, so what we are saying within our own self, as we are hanging out here in the studio and we are waiting for the others to come on, I'm just going to say something. I may have to repeat myself, but this is the Sunday where you get the Sunday news, you get your slice of your pie, and of course, you all can join in, get your plates out, your knife and forks. We're going to get right in. This fire that is burning in California, for everything has a purpose. The purpose is California had to go down like that simply because it is in their plans, and this is for people who dig a little deep. California, that area, they're surely going to build it back. Oh, yeah, they're going to build it back. It will not be the usual town of people who had built their houses and have their houses for 30 years with their dogs and their swimming pool, but rather the option is to build what you call a smart city. So we were talking among, some of my wise ones, and they said, smart city is what is the intention
Mhm. Yeah,
to
all right.
build back that area in
Yeah, man.
California. So when we say
Yeah, yeah.
smart city, we are looking at computers, we're looking at AI, we're looking at robots, we're looking at, imagine, the smartphone. I'm afraid of my smartphone, much less to have a smart city where everything is computerized and in that digital sort of way. What I can think about in a smart city, that would not work for me because I think of my privacy. I can no longer jump out of my shower and feel the need to cook just the way I came out of my mother's womb. So I say smart cities mean I'm thinking infrared lights, they see what I'm doing, and I really cannot take all that sort of scrutiny. So I know that may sound that's a little far off from the ashes to the smart city, but we like to give the projections over here, and we like you all to use your mind and think of how far things could really go and how much things has changed. When I think of smart cities, I say, but it sounds so foreign, only to find out this is really in existence at the moment. There are smart cities in Singapore. I understand New York has one. Well, in America somewhere. I know England has one. I understand Australia has. Saudi Arabia. And I could just imagine Dubai probably has one too. Who knows? But this is in fact what is coming to a town near us. Why I say to a town near us, I noticed also that Bronx had a large fire. In the Bronx, somewhere near Arlington, in that area, had a large fire, large building burned down, and people were left stranded and homeless. One of those really big buildings, a house like 1,000 or more people. We are going to pay attention and watch for the areas that are going to be burnt down. They are going to make room for what you call smart cities. Smart cities is things to come. Smart cities is like what we have seen in the movies with those really polished neighborhood. I think there was one show about something wives. I can't remember right now, but my studio audience will help me with that, whereby we saw everything was so polished and so manicured. That kind of life, I don't think I want a smart city life. I want to run around barefoot. I want to go to the river. I want to go catch my fish. I want to go to be in the sea. I don't want all these restrictions that I'm locked into this building with this infrared light, and then they're telling me what to do. And of course, me who does not conform, I will be in trouble. I might get a smart whipping somewhere in that house, who knows? But I'm just saying, this is what they're gonna hand us, and this is where they want the control. Control is major in what is happening as the years go by. Now, not 25, we're having a jolly good time, but I say as the years go by, more and more what we are seeing is that need to control. And I mean control of population, control whereby they want to say how much people should live, how much people should die, when you could use your credit card, when you could travel. And Lord knows if you open your mouth, you might go into the control jail as well for a few days. Just like how Facebook put you in the Facebook jail. All of those things are just precursors for what is to come. So they gave us the trial run. But what was so more important, because you know how we like to go and pull things from under the rug, so I had to investigate and say, but smart cities, I'm now hearing about this for the first time. Maybe I'm not so smart after all, or smart as I thought I was. But I understood this really took place in 2022 when these smart city stories and it was built something 2022, no, 2020, at the 2020 to 2022, in between those years. I said, what was really happening at that time? Anybody can tell? Oh, yeah, we can. Those were the days we got the lockdown when they pushed us inside. And we had that thing called the COVID-19. Since we're on YouTube, we can't bad talk anybody, so we have we very well have to start talking and get our own EW, of course. But in any case, we were locked away for a period. And now that we came outside, well, I'm just saying, and we look around, all of a sudden we hear smart cities and we'll start hearing these new developments. But I'm just saying, pay attention. While we were under lockdown, they were busy putting purple traffic lights in the streets, not traffic light, but purple street lights. I don't know if anybody saw that there are some places that has purple street lights. Now, that story we were going to get into another time, but I'm just saying all these things were done quietly in our lockdown period. So here we have smart cities coming. But we look at California, and we go back to California burning in the fire. So I'm asking now, for who is here? Do you think that this was a judgment fire from the Almighty God, or do you think this fire was set by man in his evil? So, to my guests, I would like to hear what your take is on this California fire.
You want me to say something?
Yes, my dear, you're welcome on
While
this thing.
while many people are asking whether the California fires are a sign of the end times, right? And for me, I don't look at it as any end times. And as a journalist, I know it's some kind of hoax to prove climate change is real, right? That's what I think, right? Because you cannot tell me that fires are burning, and when we look at the photographs, we're looking at the trees and not being scorched, right? And when they had the last show they had in Hollywood, it was on what that red carpet show, right? What was the name of that show they had? When they had and Cynthia and Erivo and them get all the medals, or the globe, not the globes, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
And they were talking.
Academy
Somebody had made
Award.
mention of that in like a comic, it's like a joke, right? It's like was California is going to start burning very soon because they had refused to talk about God. They were saying, how many did this one get? Oh, this one got 20. This one got 30. This one got, and how much did God get? God got zero, right? So, we're looking at over 30,000 acres of land in California that have been scorched right now. And thousands of homes have been reduced to ash and lives are lost. The fires are very devastating. Um, the spiritual significance of these fiery devastations cannot be ignored as well. And I've asked myself, I've been asking people like Sadi, a big visionary who I take a lot of insights from, what is really going on? Is there more to these strategies that meet the eye? But we have to look at it the other way around too. It's not just in California. In Hawaii, um, we are recently experiencing one of the deadliest fires in US history as well, right? You remember when that place, what was that little place where Oprah went and buy all the land down there was burning as well?
Maui.
Maui, right? And we have to ask ourselves, are these merely natural disasters? Are they pointing us to something deeper or something um, sinister, right? And from the biblical point of view, right? We had prophets in the Bible times, and they tell us about fires. And the prophet Isaiah, he said that even when fires rage, the final word is faith, not fear. But for me, I think it could be spiritual on one side of the fence, but on the other side of the fence, looking at where 2025 is taking us, I also think it could be manufactured as well. I don't know.
Well, okay. Let me give my other guest to weigh in, and then I would speak. So, do you want to weigh in as well? Second vice, first vice. You want to unmute yourself, Mr. Morris, and let us hear what's happening.
Yes, definitely. I think this is a spiritual awakening because what is happening in the earth now, the Almighty words has to be fulfilled in the latter days, as the earth is without end, but the wickedness of mankind will end. And what is happening in my world spiritually is mankind is doing a lot of things and getting away, and modern nature is vexed because modern nature is the Almighty itself also too, So modern nature is vexed with the filthiness and the wickedness that is going on
You
in
can
earth.
hardly hear him.
You understand?
Yeah,
The,
talk a little
wick-
louder.
the wickedness that is going on in earth, mankind get away from man, but he cannot get away from mother nature. So what I'm saying is the Almighty promised not to judge the earth with water anymore. So the fire is a fiery judgment, whether it won't be man or spiritual, or this fire is expect to come. I don't know if it is this now, but I know that there is a fiery judgment. The prophecy said, think not strangely concerning the fiery trial which is to try I and I. We all are hungry if we all are not fed. We all are naked if we all are not covered. You understand? We need to care more for humanity. So Mother Nature is giving them a wake up call for me personally. You know? I think so. This is a wake. California has been burning at all times, but this is exceptional. This is a wake up call for us, people on earth, to come together and live a better life before the real fiery trial come. You understand? Because the almighty words has to be fulfilled. There will be no more water judgment. There will be fiery judgment. I have a song that said, I see them diss the commandment and put the world in danger. When man doesn't keep God's commandment, it's putting the world in danger. When they are creating all these kind of corrupted laws and abominable laws, they are putting the world in danger. And when Mother Nature is vexed, that's the worst judgment. That's the way I kind of look at it, you know.
What said aka Shiloh?
Yes,
What
bless.
has happened, however, when there's a judgment upon the earth in all things, the Almighty is in charge. And sometimes when something happens, God Himself allow things to happen so that we can have the sign and we could see and of course repent and know that there is God. We think of fire, and when I thought of the California fire, I tried to examine it from both specters, I should say. I look at it spiritual and I look at it in the carnal sense. When I look at it spiritually, I think of fires and how God relate to fire. And I couldn't help but think of Elijah, one of my really great prophets in the Bible. And I think of Elijah when he made that offering and the sign to show that God was present. A fire had to come down from the heaven and consume the offering that was made on the table so that we can know the presence of God. So we see fire consuming and coming down from the heavens. So we know God Himself deals with fire as a sign. So this special fire that we see, we look at California, but then God in His wisdom, California and most of the residents there, they don't really live a life pleasing unto God if we should be truthful to ourselves, because they live in a world where they are their own gods, their own stars, and they're accustomed to having worship to them as people would have them as my favorite star or whatever, which is quite an abomination as to who should have reverence and who should this attention go to. But in a carnal sense of the way, there is a need for some people or a particular group of people who believes in population control. And we are going to see a lot of displacement simply because the wicked themselves would like to see population control. When all these houses has been burned down, and we saw a number of 10,000, who's going to build back all those houses? How are people's life going to be reinstated when we realize that some fire insurance was actually knocked off 3 weeks before this fire? So it helps us to understand or help us to think. We don't want to be conspiracy theorists here and there, but why would people insurance, fire insurance, be discontinued 3 weeks ago? So now you're in a really dire straits, seeing that your house is burned down, you own the property for 30 years, and now you are unable to build it back. You're unable to even get compensation for what has taken place. So how fair is that? And I mean, we talk about people treating people with love and neighborly, and we are helping out. But is anybody studying the big wigs who are in charge of the insurance company that have disappointed these people in a time of need? Now, I heard President Biden, he's the outgoing president, but still, he's still there. He said that people are going to be helped 100%. You know, I don't know what 100% would mean, seeing that you own a property for 30 years and everything has been destroyed. How do you put a monetary value on that? It is good to know that you can have a house to live in again, but it won't be the same. But you look at everything, how the chips fall in place. Where was the fire department when the initial fire started? I heard reports were made that the reservoir ran out of water. So how could it be in a time like that, which part the only reason for not having effective control of the fire was the fact that there was no water in the reservoir? That's a kind of real lame excuse. I also heard the mayor had gone away. She was on vacation. She had to come back as well to, I guess, take care of things. It's a sad state of affair when it looked like nobody was really paying attention. So it come like, who was guarding the guards? Who was paying attention? Who was on duty? It seemed to be nobody at that point. So you wonder what is really happening in California. Also in California, as I said earlier on in one program earlier on, I want you all to keep in mind the name Gavin Newsom. Pay special attention to this because soon he will be in a very important place speaking a lot. But pay attention for this. It's a bit premature, but this is California. This is decisions made. This is feathers being ruffled, and somebody knew about what was going down. We don't know. We are asking here. I thought we had on the panel what people may possibly think, but this fire was allowed to go on. Sometimes the Almighty allow things to happen. After all, He gave us free will. Why would God allow things to happen? But truly, this fire was created. This
And
fire
that's
was
why,
created.
Sadie, I am prone to believe, sometimes like listening to different narratives that it was manufactured because Joe Rogan on his podcast, he predicted the fire, right? He moved from California to Texas and then to Florida. And he said after the way they handled COVID-19 and he looked at the situation, California is not a place to live. And he predicted it was going to happen. Now, Joe Rogan is no prophet. We know that. But then, as a podcaster who could predict the fire, I mean, it opens eyes. And what happens again is that Pacific Palisades, as you said, they canceled the insurance policy on many homes to avoid financial failure. So
Yeah.
apparently, something was brewing underneath, right? Now, people who were living in areas prone to being scorched by the fire, they are finding it very difficult to get their homes insured, meaning that they have lost their homes and they have nothing, no insurance, right? So, how could that be? Right? That you cancel the insurance, not even the fire hydrants have water. The drones that were sent cannot fight the flames, and it's only destroying homes. As I said, it's not destroying vegetation. Now, let's put that on the back burner for a while and let us look at what the scientists are saying climate change, right? Now, climate change. But climate change has to do with trees as well, right? And shrubs, right? Why is only homes and swimming pools that are burning, right? So, as I said, I am prone to believe both angles. Probably the wickedness of California, city of angels, and the wrath of God, as my brother was just saying, could be have descended on them, right? Or it could have been something in a greater narrative where they decided, well, they knew it was coming, right? But I keep on thinking somebody set the fire. And that's why I keep on thinking. Some hands put that fire on. And it wasn't a hand like an arsonist hand, like a hand like my hand or your hand. It were trained hands because the fire is following a path. Fire cannot be that controlled. Right, my brother? Can we control a fire? How could the
No,
how control is the California fire?
no, zero.
Okay then. So that's I mean we have to look at it. We have to weigh both sides, right? We cannot only well, we have to turn the other side of the dubious coin, and we have to say, okay, it's balance reporting here because here it is. We have a fire. Many people say it's biblical. I cannot say no, it's not biblical because God works in mysterious ways, and the evils of that place. He has said, as my brother said, he will never destroy the earth by water again. It's by fire, right? Fire is a big cleanser, right? Fire cleanses, right?
And,
So,
and a bad master too.
excuse me.
It's a bad master, uncontrollable. Fire cannot be
Good.
controlled. It's a good servant and a bad master. The fire.
I don't know if you heard him. He says a good servant and a bad master. The
Yes.
fire.
I'm afraid of fire, bro. I do play with fire because fire cannot be controlled.
Exactly.
Fire, when fire, you could sit down there and the stove sparks a little fire. By the time you reach it, the whole house is consumed already. I mean, knock on wood. Fire is you don't play with fire. And for
And
fire to have a controlled path like what is happening in California, it behooves me
and
that
the wind,
something is not
the
right.
wind, the wind, the wind. Is God control the wind, So the wind seems to be energizing the fire. So
But
that's what I'm saying.
what is where the winds are coming from?
That the
So
most
the
high
winds are only
control
coming from that certain part of California. The Palisades only.
winds. The winds is controlled by nature.
You know in Israel they make rain, they make wind, they make snow, they make clouds, they make everything.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you know
Artificial
at
rain
Burn,
making. Yes,
the
artificial
Burn
rain making.
Institute, they do all of that there as well,
I learned
right?
that in all
So
age
if
school.
40-mile winds are coming in right now from that certain angle, it has to ravage that side only. I mean that's my explanation. I mean it's logical.
Well, we examine right here weather manipulation, and we have the big word CRM. We're not trying to be in any trouble here since we're on YouTube. So we are seeing weather manipulation. The fire itself was, in fact, created. When sometimes within wickedness, and as I said, God Himself sometimes allowed things to happen because He gave us free will. But for the way the fire has taken apart, as Rebecca just said, Sister Rebecca, she's quite right. The fire was almost designed, it was like a designer fire. You know, it's Hollywood now. They designed it exactly which trail it should go and which direction because it was specifically done on a part of destruction for a special area. For a lot of people who have examined fires and they spoke about it, and this is coming from some firemen, even those who were on duty, they found the fire to be quite unusual because it just seemed to be bigger than them. And no matter how much water let off on that fire or foam or whatever else they use to try to restrict it, to no avail. The fire keep going on and on. In a matter of fact, California is still burning as we speak. Go
Yes.
ahead. Right.
But water is not the only way to stop fire. You know, I have experience as a landscaper. Once I was doing some firework, and but before I did the firework, I had prepared the grounds in case the fire get out of control. And the fire did get out of control. Those people would have killed me right away. They had their machete and their forks, and they one said, "Anyhow, I make their place burn down, they're gonna kill me." But I did what I did. I said, in case the fire get out of control, I remove all things out of the fireway and let the hurt and give the fire where the fire was coming from. I move all trees before I lit the fire and give and at the ground space. There was a ground space a couple of yards well that I left. That's what saved the district from not burn down. So I'm saying these firefighters, they are not thinking with it seems as if they don't want to stop the fire. That's what I was thinking. Because there are ways of stopping fire apart from putting water into it, you know. Did you know that?
But we are watching the gravity of the fire. And we are watching the fire as the monstrosity of the fire, I should say. Rather, the fire you speak about where you think you were cleaning someone's yard or that was in a control area. You probably had like 1 acre that you were dealing with,
No,
Shiloh.
but
But
no matter what, it can be done in a vast way also.
no,
It's
but
a
what
protective
I'm
way.
saying is that we are going to deal with reality here. You are talking about a fire where you have something of 28,000 acres of land. Where do you have the manpower to move away certain things? So, in a matter of fact, it is easier to let the fire burn than risk firemen lives because the fire gonna consume what 10,000 firemen before you can put it out. The fire is uncontrollable. It is not natural coming from some fireman point of view and people who assess fires. That is why it's having such difficulty because this fire was designed. God Himself allowed it to happen, but it was not a judgmental fire as far as prophecy goes, as far as vision goes. It was nothing shown like that. But there's a case where they need to have 2025, as I said, the old way of life and the old way of thinking is gone, it's been put away. What is happening and is going to come to many towns near us in the I don't know what time frame next year, the year to come, but I understand it still is happening already. They are creating smart cities. This is what they want to have now. So
Thank you.
California is going to be built
Thank
back.
you. You get it.
So they start in the Bronx too.
Well, I saw a big fire in the Bronx. I'm saying I wonder if it is that they are targeting certain areas because certain areas are being targeted for these smart cities. And this is something that was drawn up while we were sleeping in 2022 when we had to take the popo in the arms and we can come outside, don't come outside, don't come outside, don't come outside, don't come outside. So these things, all of a sudden we came outside and realized, oh my gosh, how did this happen? I understand Singapore has it, Australia, certain places. I think even maybe America have it too. Tottenham has it. This is in London. And we are wondering what it is they're going to do to get rid of the old scenery to put the new one. Destruction will come in different ways, but plans are made to change things in a way where we did not expect it. So this is happening. This fire is burning. All I can say, I wonder where people are going, because you have 10,000 houses burned down. Could anybody say where people are going? Let me open. Let's hear what we have to say about this. Mr. Theodore, where do you think people are going?
Well, as a refugee, they hate to call them refugees, but they are refugees, right? The people who have been displaced, they are displaced people. But look at the criteria that we are talking about, because in disaster-prone areas of the world, refugees are poor people with nowhere to go. I mean, the homeless, the destitute. But we are the world now in 2025. We are seeing a new breed of refugees, right? Now, I hate to say it that way, but I am very happy of the way that you spoke about um, smart cities, because I had one journalist say to me that she believes that the raging fires in California are part of a conspiracy to implement the United Nations 2030 agenda, specifically focusing on smart city development, right? Now, the United Nations had themselves has said, well, that cannot be true, because they don't need any sensors to implement smart cities, right? But it's more than that, right? Because we have to reach a target by 2030, whether you want to or not, right? Because in 2015 we had the 2010 we had the Millennial Development Goals. It didn't achieve much, right? In 2015, it ended in 2015, and they came with Sustainable Development Goals, which has to come to a close by 2030. How many years? This is 2025. And we only have 5 more years to implement this shit. Excuse my language. And
No, we
not
can
much
tell
has
you
happened.
something.
Not much
We
has
can tell
happened, right? So it's like by any means necessary right now, right? So it's a criminal land grab, I believe, starting with Maui, starting with Hawaii, and our
All the
little islands
Gaza
in the
too.
Caribbean.
Even the
Excuse
Gaza.
me?
Even the Gaza. I
What
don't
did
want
you
to speak
say?
to the Gaza.
Gaza? Well, Gaza is another. Gaza is a little far fetched. Gaza is on the other side of Tongue, right? That's another. That's in the Middle East, right? And
Yes.
another.
But there
I'm
seems to
still
be them
happy that
seems
you
to be
mentioned
clearing
Gaza,
they
because
seems to be clearing the land for some development.
because well, I'm happy you brought up Gaza, because talking about we're going into the Middle East right now, and after 20 something years, Assad has fled Syria, right? Right
Yes.
now, what remains in Syria? There is nothing in Syria, right? Syria is an ideal location now to do any type of new development right now, because everything is in ruins, everything is in rubble, right? So Syria will be, as one journalist said, the first official smart city in the Middle East. Did you look at it that way?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's why I mentioned Gaza.
Then we have Gaza,
Hmm.
right? And then we are also going into parts of Lebanon as well, right?
Well,
So
the picture
it's a
is
vicious
becoming
cycle.
clearer
It's a
and
criminal
clearer.
land grab,
It's
construct
becoming
construct
clearer
smart
and
cities.
clearer.
Excuse me?
It's becoming clearer and clearer. Clearer
It's,
and clearer.
yeah. But
Hmm.
but but as sister said, you always keep on telling us we have to be able to reason,
Yeah.
right? Don't take the narrative of the media. Don't believe everything that you read, right? Because the person who I'm a writer, when I write, I put my own point of view, I put my own moods, I put my own characteristics, I make the
Yes.
article sound like Rebecca, you know.
Yeah, the
So
Bible
it's not
says
all the truth.
there is a scripture that says, "Fool believe everything, but wise men sought it out diligently." Fool believes everything. Wise men and women sort out things. You understand? But we
Okay.
don't believe everything we hear. We sort it out in our minds, you know? Yes.
So we have to start questioning the reality, right? They tell us that Sister Sadie, I owe so much of allegiance to her because
Y-
she make me put on my thinking cap. Start
Me also,
thinking
me
for
also, me,
yourself.
with these smart city, it makes sense. It make a lot of sense what is
Yeah.
happening in the world, you know? A lot of sense.
But you saw Zuckerberg came on social media and he said to us that nothing again, nowhere will we be able to go in Facebook jail anymore. That's over. We can talk and we can say anything, right?
Yes.
So what does that tell you? I mean, you cannot suppress the truth anymore. How many times you have been in Facebook jail? I have gone to Facebook jail. You cannot fact during COVID-19, we had fact checkers. What happened to the fact checkers, right? The
Even
truth has to come out,
even
and there's nothing he
even
can do about it
even on
because
TikTok.
people have been. That's why I keep on saying with this new virus that they're trying to put on humanity now, it cannot happen because people are too enlightened.
Yes,
In
yes.
2020, they accepted that lie. This is 2025. There's going to be riots. Humanity is not going back into lockdowns. They are not because they know they have been played. Fool me once, shame on you. But
Hmm.
on me, but fool me twice, so they say shame on you, right? They're not going to that. That's they have the person who came up with that HPMV virus should have thought differently than to say, well, okay, we're going to use that same thing again on humanity. I know because just a month last year, wearing mask in New York City was illegal. So you're going to tell them in COVID-19, you had to wear the mask. In 2023, it's illegal. And now wear the mask again. You want to see murder and riot and looting, you know? And we are
Hmm.
not prepared for that, right? So it's just like when we see things going back to the point I'm trying to make here, we have to question reality. We have to go to sleep and ask, is this true? How did they arrive at that? Don't just stand in line to say I'm going to take a vaccine because they tell me I have to take a vaccine. Don't just say because they tell me go this way, I have to go this way. No, Rebecca turns around and say, why? You know, because everybody, because I don't go by majority reasoning. Because everyone is doing it doesn't make it right. Right?
Like,
So you have to be the one who stands exempt from the crowd and decide, well, you know what? Let me put on my thinking cap here and let me start thinking for myself.
yes, because there must be a purpose when something is done. And when something has done on such a large scale, we know it was well thought about. Somebody didn't wake up yesterday and decide I'm going to go to the 7-Eleven and buy a bucket of kerosene and throw on one of these houses because my neighbor pissed me off. It was not one of those situations. It was a design plan where an area will be devastated for
Of
whatever
course.
reason. We do not have the full reason, but this was sit down, thought about, and planned. And God in his wisdom said, well, since mankind has been so wicked, they will destroy themselves. Let me see how far they will take it. And there it went on and on and on and on. But it's also a sign as well for us to look and see what time it really is upon the earth because we are seeing the wickedness of mankind here. Because with the fire like that, what I don't believe is only 10 people die. I just don't believe that because the way the fire is running, how could you run so far from the fire without getting touched? And what about the old people and walkers and wheelchairs and who are lying down in their bed with the plugs in their IV in their hands and the heart machine hook up on the kidney machine? What about those people? The rich have a lot of sick people among them. So I'm just saying to think 10 people die, I want to question that. What are your thoughts?
As you said, it's a new era. It's a new breed of refugees, right? And I've never seen refugees. I've never seen that kind of refugees before. The refugees I know about, as I said, is refugees, poor, broken, homeless. These are people
That,
who had
that,
everything. Three swimming pools, four swimming pools, who lose their luxury cars. These are people who had it all, right?
yes.
And then they have to flee with nothing, and not even insurance going to give it back to them, right? I mean, we have to sit down and look at the narrative very carefully. It's like, really? I don't
Yes.
know. It's arson. I hate to say it that way. It's something. It's very arsonistic, and whether we want to look at it that way or not, I could be wrong, right? But
No, I
I'm
want to
just
go along with
thinking,
what you're thinking, seeing that some people as well, with that journalistic mind, they said they saw people running from houses pouring liquids at different strategic points. Some people said they saw that. One woman who's a journalist, she said she tried to follow a guy, but he lost her within. She said she got in her car and she tried to follow him. She made this report, but she said of course, he evaded her, but people reported people were pouring liquids to help the fire along, I should say. But the fire started somewhere and for a reason. That we know, there's no mystery towards that destruction. It was purposely done. And as I said, we would just pay attention to the fact that smart cities are what they have in mind. Sure, they're going to build back the area, but things are not going to be the same. It's not no Mr. Rogers neighborhood anymore with the rich having a very good time, because we saw it was the Hiltons and all the big Hollywood names. They were the ones affected, and we are here watching it go by. We are not part in that wealthy society, but we see what has come down. It is, in fact, a different time, but here we are understanding what the truth must be told.
yeah.
So, if
And
we
Sister
go,
Sally, what we look
uh-huh.
again is that the United States have Biden just sent billions of dollars into Ukraine. Anytime there is a disaster, humanitarian needs are met overseas, but you cannot fulfill your own humanitarian needs on your own shores.
I
I
wonder
mean, in the
about that.
United States, they cannot help their own refugees. I mean, these are not even refugees; they're rich people. You could send so many to Haiti. You could send so much to Ukraine. You could send so much to Gaza, but you cannot send blankets. People have to do no. I don't get it, right?
I
And
don't get
I
it.
go back again to I remember when the UN had this the people they had a document called People Smart Sustainable Cities. It's like an innovative city that uses information and communication technologies to improve the quality of life of people in urban operations and services and competitiveness. And California was at the top of the list, right? So going back to what you were saying again about smart cities, the domino effect, it all boils into what you were saying.
That's what I'm just saying to you in the spiritual realm. I don't, because I like to compare everything within the spirit as well as carnal, since I walk along that road. But I said all I could hear whisper is that word. So I don't have anything else to bring as far as how, when, where, why. But I know definitely we are going to look forward to that association with the fire, the cleanup, and smart cities. But I'm not sure, as I said, why this was particularly done at this time, because it was planned and well orchestrated, and the damage was done. So that's the California burning. I see we have someone else with us as well this evening. Dr. Winborn? Dr.
Yeah,
Winborn, are you here with us?
somebody just came in.
Somebody else came in. I will have.
Donna Gomez.
Oh, Donna Gomez?
Hmm.
Donna Gomez is my beautiful sister from Trinidad and Tobago. Donna Gomez, can you unmute yourself? Maybe internet is a little slow across there in Trinidad. I see she going around in circles. I have to squeeze the next. I said, could you please come on just for the like, Dana Gomez? You fell off?
She cut off.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably Trinidad internet.
Yeah.
Well, we get a nice little ducky from Trinidad and Tobago. So concerning the fire, we are here with it. We've seen what is going to be eventually with it. And of course, the thing about smart cities, I'm saying I'm afraid of smartphone, much less smart cities. Let's just take a 2 minutes to identify what goes on in a smart city. In a smart city, we are going to have control. When I think of smart cities, all I can think about is infrared light. You know, Miss Rebecca, you will not be allowed to come out the bathroom and walk around as you would like to, because somebody is going to be behind some desk looking at your every movement in your house. That is too much invasion of privacy. So from the time I hear smart city, I get really upset. I don't like to hear the word because I'm thinking, so everything you do now is going to be recorded? So we see there is that freedom of movement. Who is there wanting to know everything we done and why? Dana Gomez, welcome to the show.
Hi, my
You have to
love. Thank
hi, my
you.
darling.
Nice show. Enjoying it.
Okay, good, good. So I know you're on. So this
Hi,
is Dana
sis. I'm
Gomez.
enjoying the show.
Wonderful. This is Miss Dana Gomez, my sister. She's just
That's
like
my sister.
Hello,
right.
Donna.
In a bun.
Dana. Someone is saying hello to you.
Hi.
That's Miss
Hi.
Rebecca. That's your other sister that you don't know yet. You
I
soon
And
said
meet
we a
her.
sister
hi.
from another mother.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, good to
Hi,
have you.
sis. It's the love that counts, not the parenting. Once we have the love, we don't need the parenting. So we are sisters.
Well, you hear that, Rebecca? She has embraced you.
She's what?
Then she told you once you have the love, we are sisters.
Oh yes, oh yes. We come a long way, Donna.
You can hear. I hear your dogs barking.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, no problem, love. So here, yeah. So we're happy that you join us. So we
Yeah,
have the
and the
two
quite a
here with us.
difference. Because I live better.
All right. So we good that you're here with us. So here what's
Okay,
happening to
thanks.
now. We are talking about the computerized homes that they're planning for us. But I don't think I could
Uh-huh.
enjoy something like that because that's too much invasion of privacy. Imagine, you're in your house, everybody wants to know what you're doing. And why I'm bothered. Why is there a group of people who wants total surveillance on the general population? Why? Why somebody wants to know where you are, where you going, what you do, how much money you have in the bank, where you traveling? Why is that so? Why is this total need to control mankind? This activity is very demonic and is opposite to the very God plan because God has given us free will. I can wake up in the morning and do what I want, go where I want if I feel like it because we have free will. But we are seeing here a group of people, which is very demonic, want to take away our free will by any means necessary. So they have improvised certain little laws, certain little fractions, they bring in certain little things, but at the end of the day, it's about control. And if we leave it up to Billy Goat, who I'm speaking about, Bill Gates, we don't, that's the Billy Goat. If we leave it up to him, he is going to kill off half of the population because he plans to. But for what? Simply because the earth, which is God, good green earth, because he said the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, and everything that is in it. But Satan, wicked plans, he wants the beautiful earth. So he wants to direct how things go. So Satan and his minions want to have a direction upon God, good green earth by telling us how many people should be here. Billy Goat said the world does not have enough space. Africa can hold the whole world if we want and could feed everyone. But still, there's a design plan to kill us off with the food that they serve us. Why are we now eating plastic rice, plastic lettuce? Why is this happening? And why is nobody stopping it while it is happening? So here we are on another wonderful Sunday evening where we give our views, but most likely, you know what we do on this side of town? We examine the things that are under the rug, we take it out, and sometimes we put it back. So we love our provocative topics, and also just to touch on some provocative topics, we had the pleasure of looking at our television screen this weekend. There was a funeral of a very great president. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him, so you all can tell how young I am. You know, I just know the recent ones like Obama. I don't know the old ones like Jimmy Carter. But in any case, Jimmy Carter was a wonderful man, as I understood, a humanitarian. He passed away. And what happened really wasn't the funeral, but the highlights of the funeral. Here we were watching the body language of people who supposedly don't like each other. That's why I often say don't follow the hype, love everybody. As I said, love is the answer. Although the person who said, all I need is love, the next year they kill him. That was John Lennon. The man saying, all I need is love, and before he turned around, they kill him. So I don't even want to say all I need is love. But love is in fact the answer. We are watching a president being sent away on a formal ceremony, his funeral, and we are watching two presidents, Mr. Donald Trump, which is the president of the time, and we see Barack Obama, which is also a president because you know he never left the office. And you know you're hearing from me for the first time, but you know how it is. Since we have freedom of speech, we know we know who is in charge of certain things. And as I said, if you know, you know. But we are watching the body language of Barack Obama and Donald Trump. And a few people stand a captain of what they imagine should have been spoken. So here I am opening the floor. I would ask for, you know, Dr. Benboni, you've been quite quiet. So, you know, here is the picture. The picture is where we see Donald Trump and Barack Obama really having a good time. So we wonder what could have been said. I had a few people who I figured was going to come on the show to give their views and what they think could have been said. But I'm going to give you a little joke here because you know I like my comedy, and then I open the floor for who wants to speak. So when I saw Trump bend over there and telling Barack, I could only imagine he was saying, Barack, you see Jimmy Carter, he was a real good man. He took care of the nation. But for me, I ain't doing shit. And Barack was like, for me, I ain't doing shit either. And they both were laughing at the sheeple. But in any case, the floor is open. Let's hear what Dr. Winborn, I'm gonna call on you. What do you think that conversation could have been?
I think he was saying to Trump was saying to Obama, you know, Carter had black blood.
And Barack Hussein,
Yes, I know that his grandfather make a child with a black woman. You know, so he knows that he have a black cousin. You know, so he's we in Georgia. So I don't know. That's what I think they were making a joke about.
I'm saying that's enough comedy for laughter. That's wonderful. What about
Mhm.
you, Shiloh? What you think was being said? Okay, so let's leave it. Dr. Winborn, what's your view? What do you think was being said at this moment?
I agree with the journalist. It's got to be something that is
Hurry and finish them off.
sorry. No, I don't think
That's probably a good one because whatever is being said, it brought on a big laughter with Barack Obama. So it must have been something really funny and something they both could relate to. You know, so that
about
was particularly enjoyed because a funeral is going on of a great president. And this man, Jimmy Carter, he was a humanitarian, I understand he was a wonderful person. I wasn't there to live it in the United States under his presidency, but I only heard really good things about him. So there we have it now, his funeral. What I was liking very much is Mr. Trump is letting you know I have no enemies, I cool with everybody, I done with the boys. And he probably has even telling Barack, when you get some time, we could play golf whenever you're ready. We can meet over on the golf course and tee off at 7 o'clock in the morning. Because Trump is just that kind of cool. He's just a regular New Yorker.
He's the coolest guy around.
I am just saying that's why he's going to have the world loving him simply because in the world, really, people just like people they can relate to. It doesn't matter you're president, you're a doctor, you're whatever. But if you're mad cool, you're able to get along because in the black community, although people would say about Trump is racist and Trump is this and Trump is that, but what I was telling people, me not call nobody racist. Now me gonna talk in my Creole and my patois. Because when we say the white people don't like us, maybe we don't like them either because it have plenty niggers don't like white people don't like niggers, and what it is we all coming about. When I need to tell you all, if you listen to Jane Elliott, all of you all are niggers. Everybody is a nigger. So if you listen, there's no white people. They were just living in a different part of the cave and they did not get any sun.
But
But with all of that, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you can always call Jane Elliott. And I think if I can invite Jane Elliott in the show, I'm going to love her. Because she said there are no white people, everybody black. Okay, floors are open. Let's hear it.
well, I can relate. I can relate to that. That say all of us is black. When why the nigger, here the nigger come from. The nigger come from Negos. Negos is the father of us all. So we are all niggers. Negos. We are all the children of Negos. So I can relate to that. We are all the children of Negos, not
No,
nigger,
I
not nigger.
I want to just say I wrong. So
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
not black, but
No,
it's
Negos.
comedy hour. But in any case,
Whether you're black
yes.
or you're purple or you're pink or white, we are all Negos. Negos, not nigra. Negos.
Well, we are all part of the human race. We are all
Yes.
God's people, and really, it is really not about color per se, but the power of the melanated people, because melanin is worth more than gold. Melanin gives us our color. So when we see people are 5-star black, we know those are the richer humans because they have more melanin in their system. So, but as I said, Jane Elliott, a nice old lady, an old white lady, as she said, she gives us state raw. If I can get Jane Elliott on this show, I'm gonna love her. Jane Elliott just let us know clearly when white people find out that black people were here, the first people, and we all came from them, is going to be the true waking up. That's the true wake up call. But until such time, we were under the impression that white is bright and white is right and white is better. When you brown, we get along, and when you black, you have to stay back. Now, this has been done like that again under a controlling factor of slavery. When in true and fact, if we should really identify with the skin color, the more black you are, the richer you are, because melanin is worth more than gold. So when you have the darker shade, I probably worth $10. You might worth $20 because you has more melanin in your body. As I once was jokingly said, white man raped my great grandmother, so I end up with a little milk in my skin. So this is just to say, I am not 5-star black because in our family we have a lot of what we should say white people or lower people like that.
Sis,
Okay.
what about your
So therefore, okay, this is why
yeah,
we
but
would
sis,
see.
what about your nieces or nephew?
Well, I give you a chance to talk about that. Tell me. Tell our audience. What about my nieces and nephews? Who are my? Tell me.
They are light skin with blue and green eyes. And they are my kids. And I'm a black. I'm black. I might have 5 cents. I might only worth 5.
Well, this is just to show you. My nieces and nephews are light skinned kids with blue eyes and green eyes. So I will have to fight for them for we the black people of the world since they look like little white children, but they really are in fact black, which shows my sister here.
So who ra-
Okay.
so
She's
who raped
able.
me?
No, no. You have the white blood in you because of our great grandparents. Because as I was telling people, we have the Spanish blood for our great grandfather came from Venezuela. So having that,
Yeah,
the DNA, it comes and shows up again in your generation, and also help us to understand the black woman can make any nation. You're the mother of all nations. You can make the black, the
that's
white,
for
the
sure.
Chinese, the Indian. So that is why your kids look like that
That's
because
for sure.
showing how rich you are within your DNA. The black woman, marvelous. She makes every race. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of the black woman and the grace of the black woman. So here I am with you, my sister. So
And I
you
guess the
must
strength of a black woman.
the strength of the black woman. Most definitely, because we being the mother of creation, we're the mother of all. We are in fact mothers, and only as I said, when we are really thrown in hot water, we can see the full strength of the black woman. And I'm happy of strong black women and proud of strong black women, as we have right now three of them on the panel, because our other sister Rebecca is also a very strong black woman in in all her ways, because being the educated black woman as well makes you even stronger, seeing that people would expect you might be a pushover, but then when you open your mouth, there's like, oh no, 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 we're not gonna have to mess with this one. This one might be too much trouble. So happy that you came on, happy that to be here with you. And I'm wondering where's
Yeah.
the engineer tonight? Dr. Winborn, did you disappear on us?
You wondering
Dr.
what?
Winborn.
I didn't hear you.
No, I was asking for another guest
I'm
to
having
let
some
him know we
internet
have a call
problems. It's
from.
just failing and coming back.
But that's all right. You calling from Trinidad and Tobago, so we're still happy that you came all across the waters, all across the Atlantic Ocean to be here with us. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So when you see
Thank
we're on
you.
YouTube now, we will be able to see that we have reached out to Canada. Rebecca's in Canada. So here we are in Canada as well. We are in Florida. We're in New York, and we're in Trinidad and Tobago. So we are really being very international. But now for you, Miss Rebecca, I want to ask you, what's happening in Canada that Doug is threatening to take off the lights in America?
Do say that again.
What's happening in Canada that the energy system is going to be shut off in America?
I don't know. I don't know. The energy, the lights are going to be shut off.
I'm going to send you something concerning, someone sent me a video where Donald Trump said he's going to put tariffs on Canada. And I guess in retaliation, the energy minister said he's going to do something concerning the energy he gives to America. I didn't even know Canada give America energy.
Oh, I think I saw that was since last year that they have been talking about that, right? The Canadian
Possibly.
officials, they threatened to cut off energy. That was since in December last year, right? But I don't think that this they said Canada could retaliate against President Donald Trump's threatened tariffs by shutting down energy flows to the United States. That was just that was just a warning, right? They would say this. He said that he would go to the extent of cutting the energy going down to Michigan, because our closest state is Detroit, Michigan. You know,
Right.
joggers in summer jog from Windsor to Michigan. That's how close we are. They build a bridge. People working in Canada go to Michigan to work. That's how close we are. So they said that they were going to cut down the energy supply leading into Michigan, but they didn't follow through with that, right? They said that if Trump follows through on his threat to impose the 25% tariff on Canadian imports on his first day in office, that will be next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. Um, because Canada is a major producer of crude oil. Ford threatened to stop the flow into the United States. And if that happens, Americans will feel the pain on the tariffs. But then this is just in the air, so to speak. It's not like we don't know yet if it's going to happen. It's just in the air because we are looking at a full-blown trade war between the United States and Canada. Um, and we have to get approval from Parliament in Ottawa to get that done. Now, with our politics in disarray, with the resignation of our Prime Minister, we have more important things to think about right now then we have to think about elections. We have to think about getting somebody to lead the party. We don't have a prime minister, so to speak, right? He has resigned, right? We have internal conflicts to take care of before we can even think about external conflicts, if you may understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I just happened that someone sent me that video, but I'm realizing this was conversation of something done last year, not something particularly that is on the horizon per se. Because also Mr. Trump, he referred to your prime minister as the governor, and he jokingly said Governor Trudeau. And I don't know if he was trying to let him know his place or where he stood, but I don't think Trudeau was as strong as he would have liked to be, and Mr. Trump really helped him understand where he was sitting in the world in politics. He was merely a governor, not running any country.
He's
So
the
here we
president.
are.
Well, he's no longer prime minister, right? We
He stepped
as we
down.
said earlier, things can happen in a minute. Things unfold. What we're talking about was last year, right? Now today is what, the 12th of January, and every new day, different changes, right? So Canada is the leading source of America's foreign oil. I don't know if you guys know that, right? Last year, I think the United States imported how much? More than 2 million barrels of Canadian crude oil per day, right? So we need Canada. Canada need us. We need the US. The US need Canada. If Canada have a cold and they cough, America catches it, right? So I wouldn't be very worried about that right now, right? Because I think everything is just in the air, so to speak. I think should be more worried about our internal problems in Canada. Wake me up when we have a prime minister. That's what I always say, right? From since I've been saying that since last year. Wake me up when we have a new prime minister because right now we don't have a prime minister, and under no circumstances will we cut off oil and gas exports because where we are right, this is winter, right?
Right.
Everything is
Yeah.
ice, right? So how are we going to cut off? Does that make sense to you? I mean,
No, I
cut off
think
oil and
it's
gas
just
to.
idle threat, and it really doesn't make any sense, and it just is not substantial enough to hold. So I'm not even taking that being at any mind. But what I want to, we have to take it lightly or with a grain of salt rather, because politics is that type of game that is played when it come like the child. If you can't give me what I want, I'm gonna throw a tantrum. But a tantrum is you throw a tantrum until you get a good beating on the foot and realize you need to stop stamping in the house. So that will resolve itself. But should
Yeah,
I say we
it will
have
resolve itself. It will fall into place. The domino will fall into place. I
most
wouldn't be very
definitely.
worried about that right now. As I said, all the bears are hibernating, all the animals are sleeping. It's winter, right? Wake me up when the ground start to thaw. And under the thaw, we have water. But right now, everything is too cold. Everything is. Have you seen pictures of Canada lately? We don't have snow
Yes,
anymore. We have ice,
ice. Yes, I saw ice
ice,
being removed from cars. Yeah.
ice. Windows are frozen. Everything has turned to ice. It's too cold now to think of anything, right? To do anything. And more ice is on the way. And as I said to everybody, I'm not afraid of snow. I'm afraid of ice.
Yeah,
Whenever there
because
is an ice storm, hey, I don't move. because this, I mean, you could get, I mean, with snow, nothing can happen. The snow is a way of life, but ice is not a way of life because ice also have sharp edges. Ice can cut, can slice you in two.
Like glass. It's like
Yeah,
glass.
it's glass.
Mm-hmm.
Sharper than ice is sharper than glass.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
very much so. Well, Dr. Winborn, are you back with us?
I am back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I just wanted to let you know, Dr. Winborn, the show has been extending so much internationally. So, it's not just that you're here in New York. We are also in Florida, we're in Canada, and we have just welcomed Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Donna Gomez. Are you aware of that, Dr. Winborn?
Yes, I am aware. I hear every word. I will
My
also say
sister has
that
joined me. Could you believe it?
I
She came
see.
all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. So
I
she's
see.
going to be on YouTube, and I'm going to say special greeting to the Gomez family of Trinidad and Tobago. The Gomez family is about 300 people right now because they have given me all these children. You know, I have 14 here, 10 here, 5 here. So now, for the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, I am saying on this day, when I go to Trinidad and Tobago, I am going to have our local there, and the Ethiopian World Federation is going to spread its wings in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to be all well. It's going to be on the show and everything. So I want to welcome Miss Donna Gomez from the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago. Hope all is well with you and my children and the
Thank you,
300 other
sis.
members of the Gomez family. You tell everybody I say hi. Okay? So
Also,
we thank you
Hi.
so,
Hi.
so
also
much.
backstage
Mm.
is Roseanne
I'm
Mitchell.
hardly here and my internet dropped.
Okay,
She's
yep,
been
bring her
trying to
in.
she's been trying to get in, but she's not being able to get in. It says that she needs to connect. You need to connect your mic and your camera before I can add you into the stage, Miss Mitchell. So I see you here. You here in three. Look like maybe on three different devices, and she's been in and out. But she they're not allowing us to bring her into the program because she has to connect her microphone and her camera. Just wanted to let you know that. All right.
Okay, good, because I invited almost everybody and their brothers and their mothers and their sisters. So this is good. So we are moving up, we are moving on. And it's Sunday evening, and I just want to remind you again, this is Sadie Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated for the Woman Auxiliary Local 26. We are here live and alive with you, and on Sundays, what we do, we take it from under the rug, which is the news or any sort of information, we examine it, and then we put it back. But what we like to talk about is the truth. We want to bring the truth. The truth will set you free. We enjoy the truth. We just want to dwell with it, and for things that we know for sure, we bring. Some things that we're not sure, we examine. But there's so much things are happening upon the earth right now, and we want to get a general consensus of what the things we should do. But as usual, I like to leave you all with certain things. I have had no vision of the fire or anything of the sort, but we understand that California is burning, and for all intent and purpose, it has been allowed to burn. A lot of people has been displaced. You're talking of over 10,000 houses or homes destroyed. This is over 30,000 or more people running around of what to do, and we are here wondering if it's coming to a city near us as well. But for all things that has been done, there's always a reason why things has been done, even if the reason has not been disclosed to us. If we sit here and we examine things and we examine life, just as we often examine everything we do. When I think of fire, however, as I did mention earlier on, I think of the fire of God. If we think of the fire, we remember in the book we saw Elijah had made an offering unto the Lord, and he said that if the the presence of God, the fire will come down from heaven and consume the offering. And this was actually done. So we knew of the presence of God with fire. We know as well that the city, God said he will not destroy the world by water anymore, since as in the days of the flood and in the days of Noah. So we all expect that one day for our wickedness, God will destroy us by fire. So when we see this fire burning, we start to wonder if it's time to repent. I will say yes. It is time to repent because we are actually into the end time. We are seeing signs and wonders of things that are happening, and we know when we see very strange things happening, we know that that time is coming. But for that time that is coming, we ask that for those within the conscious mind, we know we are both flesh and we are both spirit. We look after our spiritual self, we look after our carnal self. We have entered into a time where it has become a very serious time, and we have to take stock of ourselves, as we did the I and I concept last show when we spoke about the I. When we say I, we take responsibility. We know no one can pass the blame to no one when we stand and we say I. When we stand before the throne of judgment, we have to declare all the things that we have done upon this earth, which is the individual standing to know that I have done it, I have not done it. So we know within all things, truth is what lies within. As I spoke of the year 2025, where we are going to go deeper in. And as I say in, from here, in. When we count from the neck, we count the chest, and we count the solar plexus, what we are actually counting is the three chakras. So now, I'm going to touch a little bit on that. That is in a different type of spiritual science, we understand these elements of the body, the throat, the chest, and the solar plexus. This is where we feel deep emotions. And when we speak of the solar plexus, again, we speak of the fire that burns. So we speak of fire. That fire that burns really is that fiery emotion that we has. So what we are watching at upon the earth, as we watch from a metaphysical point of view, we are watching fire. We are going to associate this fire with the part of our body which is going to mostly affect. And we speak of the area of the solar plexus, which is that kind of little above the stomach. That is that chakra that burns fire. When we see fire, we think of cleansing. But I'm telling you, fire brings on two types of emotion. And I don't want you all to judge me right now, but I think fire is beautiful. When I see fire, I look into the fire, I see orange, I see red, I see yellow. I was like, damn, these colors match. I feel to make a dress. I am seriously telling you all, I am fascinated by fire. I hope there's nothing wrong with me. But fire to me is such a beauty. It's one of the elements that I see of beauty. I am telling you, it can be very destructive, but I see the beauty of the fire in terms of what it gives off. It gives off a light, bright, orange, red, yellows. There's even a blue in there. So if it's not really being destructive, and you look at fire, it's beautiful. And I am just wondering, no, I'm just wondering, last show, I talk about the gods with the small g, and I mentioned Shango. I say Shango is the god of thunder, lightning, and fire. Now this week we have a big fire. You all think I should mention the lotto, that we should all get rich tomorrow? I mean, what do you all think I should do? Because I start to wonder. I said, my goodness, I just call upon Shango just to explain you all about the Orisha gods. Now California is burning. Am I responsible? I'm just really joking with you all about this time. But on a serious note, we have the judgment of the Almighty God. And in the year 25, we are going to, as I said, we are in the year of exposure. No, not exposure, transparency. We have done the year of exposure in 2024 when we saw all that baby oil floating around, and we all know the story about it, people slipping and sliding in a lot of oil. Now we are seeing of 2025 transparency. When fire burns, it cleanses. Fire is a cleanser. Even in the spiritual walk, whereby, people are given spiritual baths, which is, for conditions and for times and for situations, one can be given a bath with fire. I am just giving you a little bit of spiritual knowledge for free. So this bath, let's just say one has a case where you have a young child who has get in a mix up. The mix up. Something with the police and the jail and the courthouse and them kind of thing there. Me, I talk my patois sometime, but who you go understand the thing. You would take this child because we have to take care of our children. And this child you would take together with a very knowledgeable priest and give this child a bath with fire so he can be cleansed and to present him now. Let's say he has to go to court because if we have the spiritual skills, our children need not to be in jail. I'm just telling you all straight. This is 2025. It's going on the internet. We're talking free speech. We are loose lips. But I'm telling you, our black children ought not to go to jail. You just make a small crime. Now, if you kill somebody, you're going down. But a lot of black men are in jail for petty reasons and for whatever situation. But we are getting back into a time whereby we claiming things. Our children getting a small mix up. We getting a bath with fire. Everything is all right. But then again, they have to tune into the show for to get all the rest of information. But I'm just saying here, fire is a cleanser, and there's this destructive quality of fire, but there's a very effective quality of fire as well. Let's just say you have a troubling situation in your house, because some houses are very disturbed. Some houses you need to pray and you need to clean with fire because you have different presence in your house that can cause destruction, can cause demonic activity, and can cause really a discomfort among who is there. And a type of situation like that, if faced with a condition in your home where you believe the activity is not kosher, I should say, you will now have to use fire to clean this house. Not to burn down the house per se, but merely to clean. Because fire is an element and a cleansing agent, especially within the spiritual walk. So is water. So I am just wondering, because we do a little comedy hour on the side. I wonder who was cleaning their house that caused the burn down in California. Somebody was spiritually cleaning their house. They must have seen some demon. They tried to run him out of the fire, and there it went out of control. So the floor is open. Let me hear my wonderful studio audience. What do you got to say, Miss Rebecca? Okay, so we're coming. What are we? We have covered a lot of topics. Normally we have a lot more guests on, so we give them a chance to talk. But today it's just the three of us, not just the four of us. It was five of us, but it's still a great number. It's still a wonderful place to be on Sundays. And now that we are enlarging and we are growing wings as Red Bull, we are on YouTube. Our show is one of high caliber. We looking good. We sounding good. We just need to tell our friends and family so they can go on. They can click on and they can give us a like so our numbers could rise and we can be part of that important crowd. But we show the one love on the side because we are the Ethiopian World Federation Women's Auxiliary Local 26. I'm your host, Miss Sadie Gomez. I am welcoming my sister, my guest from Trinidad and Tobago. She fell off for a while, but I was happy to have her on, Miss Donna Gomez. As she said, the black woman, we have the white children, we have the Chinese children, the Indian children. The Gomez family is really cosmopolitan. When you see I bring them on, you'll be like, yeah, yeah, that's how the bloodline goes. So we welcome as well Miss Rebecca Theodore, a renowned journalist, my sister from a different mother. We have such a wonderful time. And she once made a remarkable statement, which people is struggling to understand, but she said COVID was one of the best time of her life. But who don't know? Only we can understand this thing. And then I have Shiloh with us. Shiloh is a member of Ethiopian World Federation. He's our first vice president of our local 26. He's also an artist. He is going to give us a bit of song to let us know what he's been doing. So within the next 5 minutes or so, you prepare yourself, Mr. Artist, to give us some song. Or are you ready now that you can give us something?
I am. I am.
Okay, so the floor is open to you, and we are going to have our show with song. Our forecast for this program, however, from 7 o'clock when we start, from 7 to 8, we're going to have our very provocative topics, and you know you're going to hear my big mouth, blah blah blah. We're going to talk the truth. We're going to bring visions. But at 8 o'clock, when in the summer as we continue, we are going to have what you call party time. We're going to have concert. We're going to have a few artists, upcoming artists, to come and bring their wares, their goods, and their services on the show as we promote the black man and what he's doing. Our guest speakers as well going to be here informing us, and we're going to have a jolly good old time. So we're asking for our artist who's on to give us a little bit of his goods, his wares, to entertain us for this evening as we move
Where is my?
close to the top of the hour. So the floor
Hold
is
on.
yours, Mr.
Hold
Shiloh.
on. Where is my visual? Okay.
All right. I hope you
I
don't get abducted like the way I did
my
the last
visual.
time.
I haven't seen my visual. Are you hearing me?
I can hear you, but I'm not seeing the video.
I'm not seeing my. Hold on. Let me. Okay, I'm
Okay,
back.
you're back. You're
Yes,
back.
yes, yes, yes. This is a song I haven't recorded yet still, but I'm working on it, and the title of it is New World Constitution. This is the New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and every one. This is the New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and every one. Amendment 1, freedom of speech and movement on the land to each and every one. Amendment 2, love and respect all your neighbor for true. Amendment 3, education of power and we want it for free. And Amendment 4, the old and the aged and the infant secure. Old and the aged and the infant secure. New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and every one, you know. New World Constitution. All right. Amendment 1. Freedom of speech and movement on the land to each and every one. Amendment 2. Love and respect all your neighbor for true. Amendment 3. Education and power one we want it for free. Amendment 4. Love and respect all your neighbor for true. Yo! New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and every one, you know. New World Constitution, equal rights and justice to each and every one, you know. New World Constitution. All right. Amendment 1. Freedom of speech and movements on the land to each and every one. And Amendment 2. Love and respect all your neighbor for true. Amendment 3. Education of power one we want it for free. And Amendment 4. All and the AIDS and the infant secure. All and the AIDS and the infant secure. New World Constitution. Equal rights and justice to each and every one, you know. New World Constitution. All right, all right. And that's it for tonight.
Well,
Respect and yeah,
we
man.
thank you so very much. And as I appreciate your New World Constitution song, you know I'm gonna come down on you because you gotta write a jingle for this song
Yes, yes, definitely.
to
Definitely.
promote what we do over here on
Yes,
Sundays. And I
yes,
want something which part, as I said to you, I want my song that 20 years from now, when
yes,
I'm sitting down
yes.
in my wheelchair, I can be able to hear what's going on. Okay?
I am working on it. I am working on it.
Okay. But much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Blessed love and thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, every time. Every time. Tell your friends and family and your well wishers because you have your audience building up. You share the number with them, the link, so they too can come on. So as we continue, when you have your music, they will be able to see and know what's going on as well.
Yes, and
So
I have
it will be a
two
good
good
thing
singers here with
that
me
they
too.
can come on and join as
I have two
well.
good singers here with me too. Next time around.
Come on, big singers.
Yeah, man, them can do them thing.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never failed me.
You hear that?
All my days, I've been
I've
held
been
in your
held in
hand.
your hand.
You hear that?
Who is singing? Who is singing?
My family.
Come
My
on, bless up.
you want some more?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some more.
Do it, wife, wife, come
Oh,
do it.
wife now. It's husband and wife, you know.
Behind my head, oh, I will
Oh,
sing
I will
the
sing
goodness
of
of
the
God.
goodness of God.
All my life you have been faithful. And all my life
And
you
all my
have been
life you have been so,
so
so
good.
good.
With every
With
breath
every
that I am
breath that
able,
I am able,
oh, I will
oh,
sing
I will sing
the
of the
goodness of
goodness of God.
God. Of the goodness of
Of
God.
God.
Next time of officially they will be on, okay?
That was wonderful. That
Yes,
was
yes,
so sweet.
yes.
That
Uh,
did join me like that.
wow,
That's a
wow.
nice
Well, I'm gonna give
message.
them the link so they can link up, okay?
Most definitely. We
Definitely.
would really appreciate them. It's a true love. So
Yes,
he
they are
knows
husband and
the
wife, you
person.
know, husband and wife. Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Part
Just
of
a blessed
that
princess. Just have a young
the
one. Yeah.
family.
Yeah,
The
yes, my
family.
family.
The
They are
family.
married like me too, you know. Yeah. It's a family union thing, you know, family thing, you know. Yeah.
Well, like, as I said earlier, all we need is love.
Exactly,
But
exactly. All we
what
need
I
is love.
remarked earlier, the last
And,
person who said that was John Lennon,
when
and
you
what is
when
it?
you see them, it's like two lovebird when you see them with two of them, you know. Yeah. Serious. They are so lovable and caring and respectful, you know. Yeah, for young people, you know. Yeah, and they have this wonderful talent, you know, for real. They can really sing. Yeah,
Yes, I hear the voices.
yeah, man, yeah,
Lovely,
man.
lovely voices.
I didn't even know that they would join in. God, you know, they was telling me that you know, they were making. I told them that I muted my mic, so it's okay.
Oh,
Yes, you know.
it's a family affair, and on Sundays we show
Yes,
love and we give love because
yes, yes.
love is indeed the answer, and love
Of
is
course.
what we really have.
Yes,
Love is what we really have.
eh, love
And
is the only thing that the leaders of this world is not trying. They're trying everything and they're not trying love. You understand? They're not trying love. Love is the solution. Love can solve all problem, you know? Yeah. Love is the answer.
love is the answer. But
Yes.
how do we find such a love? Because we tap into that the last week and we see
Yes.
the different levels of love and we speak of the unconditional love, the love
Yes.
that God gave to us. It's a place where we have to get there. But we have to start somewhere, and in starting somewhere, we can be examples by the ones showing love. So when we live an example, and we can now teach because it's something that we really cannot hold on to unless it's truth. Because if it's fake, it's only a fleeting moment of pleasure. But true love runs deep, it's unconditional, and it's the way God loves us. And as I grow more within my spirit, I am able to love more unconditionally because I am able to accept faults of humans, I am able to look past that, understanding that the Almighty God too look at me with my faults and my shortcomings, and He can still love me. He can still rise me up and still grow me. And with that love, I give to my sisters, my friends, the people around me, and of course, I try to teach this love as well. So I want to be a teacher of love, a doer of love, because love is in fact a doing word. I tell people, don't love me in no noun form. I want to let you love me like a verb. Love me and do. So I want my love to be a verb, not a noun. Love is a doing word. So we show love by doing and expressing ourselves within that atmosphere of kindness and gentleness. And when you truly love someone or you truly show love, that person can reciprocate. They can feel it. Because when you're loving me for real, I feel it in my bones. But if it's some kind of superficial I love you, that will pass like water on the duck back. So love me for real in that doing word and let us know, in fact, it's a penetrating factor as well. Because in the heart, we feel things deeply. And when we are truly loved or we are loving, the heart feels good. I'm telling you, it's a joy to the heart to love, to be loved, and to love. It is the greatest answer to all of world's problem. Scientists have now discovered the true meaning of life is to love. But we want to say in our own self. When we are loving, we are living. And we are not, if we are not loving, we are not living. And I even tell some people, you don't have to fall in love with a man or a woman if you figure, well, it's going to break your heart. Buy a dog, get a bird, get a fish. But when you're in love, you live in. It is a certain part of your heart that goes boom, pitty, boom, pitty, boom. It goes at extra speed when you're in love. Love is a many splendid thing. It's the ice cream and the cake. It's the joy and the sweetness of life. It can also be used in a very advantageous way because some people, when they know you love them or they know your heart is full of love, they take advantage of you. And sometimes we hold back on love because we figure we don't want to be taken advantage of. But I want to say to my listening audience and to the millions of viewers who I'm expecting to come, because they're going to reach. So when this reach your ears, never shy away from loving. To love is one of the greatest experiences one could have. And I'm not talking about the sexual pleasures, I'm talking about love in the genuine, heartfelt way. Since often I identify to my young students that sex and love is two different things, but love in its pure form, there's nothing like it. It's a feeling that we get just to show love, to give love, and to be in love. So I want to leave this evening with understanding of love, true love. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your brothers and your sisters. Love your mother, your father, your parents. Love your teachers, love your bosses, love your co-workers. But most of all, put love out there in the air. Put love out there. Love is a really balancing factor. Love is the greatest. Love is the answer to the world's problem. If they could only find that, then they would know. It's still a journey to reach that area of love, seeing that ones have already believed they have gotten there. But no, it's a journey to get to that pinnacle. And when you find it, you will cherish it because there's nothing else in the world like it. And when you find it, you will know it because, again, there's nothing else in the world like it. So I want to say, I want to live in an example of love because I have found love. I have understand what true love is. And I could truly say, I love. And I love despite the fact. I love simply because it makes my heart feel better. Whether someone is going to love me back is not important, but I understand my position in this life, my position upon this earth, and my duty is to be a creature of love within that element. So I want to give love to everyone that is here, and again to open the floor for anyone who want to say something at this point.
I would love to say something about love.
Tell me.
Two men did not know what love could do. They quit their finger to the bow and leave the sweetest rosebud behind. You hear that? Men did not know what true love could do, so they quit their finger to the bow, that it is the gun and the instruments of cruelty, and leave the sweetest, sweetest, sweetest rosebud behind, which is love. O love, I find, O sweet thou art, for now I've found my willing heart. All of taken up by thee, O Jesus Christus, O dearly beloved. The love, real love, come from the heart, and real love come from Christ. Christ had the real true love for us, that he sacrificed his life for us. So to love me is to die for me. If you can't die for me, you don't love me. True love conquer death. True love overcome all difficulties. Blessed love.
Mhm.
Hey, Sadie. Sadie. We lost Sadie?
Look like we may have lost our host. May have dropped out. But
Or,
decided your mic is
or
off.
maybe
All
our
right.
phone
Sadie,
battery
are you
died.
there?
Maybe our phone died or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, here she come back now.
Oh,
Go for a
Well,
little.
it's getting up to the hour.
Yes,
Oh,
it
Sadie is
surely
here.
gets.
Okay.
Yes, surely gets.
I was going to continue hosting for you.
What happened is I heard a program with Love and how he delivered that lovely program. And what I did, I decided to press the button that says chat to see if anyone was in the chat, since I know we are moving close to the top of the hour. And since it's very new for me, I said, whoa, I pressed the wrong button. But we are moving close to the top of the hour. And I want to say, truly, I felt love on this program. I feel love among my brothers and my sisters, and I want to extend love. This year, 2025, we're going to shape ourselves into action of doing certain things that we know will promote love and goodwill among our brothers and sisters. As I said earlier on in the last show, we have raised our frequency. We are now functioning at a higher vibration. And this vibration, in order to acquire certain things, within this here vibration, we ought to exercise love, because love is the highest frequency humans can function. This is what makes us different between God and man, because God is love. He's that big bundle of love. I'm not saying he's not a God of judgment and severity, but he's a God of love. When we raise our vibration into the and we are functioning with love, we can acquire so much more. So let us not be selfish or ignorant, but understanding that love can take us to places where others cannot go. It is no mystery that sometimes we can travel into realms that people don't understand or unable to reach. But I'm telling you, tonight, the vehicle is love. Love is that vehicle. So as we move close to the top of the hour, I want to thank everyone for coming on. I want to give a special thanks to my engineer, Dr. James Winborn. I want to thank Peter Shiloh for coming on. He's our first vice president. I want to thank Miss Rebecca Theodore, renowned world international journalist. And I want to thank my sister Donna Gomez for coming on and to say hello to all of the Gomez family. You tell them I love them very much, but you know your big sister is full of love. I'm also disciplinary. So, no, no, no. I also will knock them in the head because they know it's out of love. I love each and every one of my brothers and my sisters, and they know it, although sometimes I'm very serious in my application of love. But all the same, it's true, it's genuine, it's real. So I want to thank you all and to bring you all back on next Sunday. This is Sadie Gomez with Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated saying to you good night, and we'll take our commercial
Okay,
now.
good night.
Good night.
Good
Blessed love.
night.
Good
Love
Good
you.
night.
night,
Respect.
sis.
I
Catch you
can say
Blessings
it,
to you.
Nana.
tomorrow.
I love you, my sister. Take care.
Love you
Thank
too.
you. Good night. Talk
Blessings,
to you
blessings,
later.
blessings.
We'll pick
Okay,
up
Respect.
my
tomorrow after God.
Okay.
Good
Respect.
night, Sister
okay.
Becky.
Okay,
Okay,
Bye. Good
bye.
bye.
night.
One
Bye,
love, one
bro.
love,
Nice to
one
meet
love,
you. Bye-bye.
one love.
Bye, Miss Gomez.
Bye.
Blessed night, Brother Peter. One love. One love. Chat tomorrow. After God. After God.